Hi, this is Ron Nutter, and welcome to another edition of Tech Bites with Ron Nutter. This time, I'm also going to be recording this for my podcast that's now set up on every network except for iTunes, and hopefully I'll have that fixed here in the next week. There was a little hiccup that occurred there, so we're working on that one. But anyway, enough of that. I'm going to show you now how to get Google Assistant to talk to the Wemo. And that starts right now. In a previous video, we've gone through the process of setting up the Wemo Smart Outlet Strip, and I've got it just off camera over here because I've got it plugged in where it's not really easy for a camera to get to it, but I've got my trusty LifeX bulb sitting over here on the side, just plugged directly into it, so you'll be able to see when it goes on and off. And the worst part, not the worst part, but the part that's the most involved is getting it set up in the Wemo app. And let's just go over and switch to that now. And at 1, 2, there we go. It's amazing when things work for you. So I'll go down to my IoT folder and I'll tap on Wemo. Tap on Wemo. Sometimes you gotta, after all, we all know with technology, it has to want to work. So it's, as with everything you've seen me do, it's always a good idea to cycle through the app that talks directly first, just to make sure that everything is the way it should be. So we'll turn it on, and you see a little light flashing over here. I'm not going to bring it right into camera because then you'll see, but that's, so when you see kind of a flash off to the side, then you know. So, okay, we'll turn that off. So we've got that up and running. So now we get to go move over to Google Home. And if you've not worked with a lot, it's also pretty straightforward. So we'll just tap on the 3 bars. We'll go to Home Control. We'll go down here to Plus, because you can see I've got other things set up on it, but we don't have, oh, there's the Wemo. All right, well, we will unlink the Wemo at this point, and I'll show you what's involved, because I thought I had it in place, and it's easy enough to get it undone. Well, come on here. Okay, Home Control, and we'll go to Manage Accounts. Okay, there's Wemo. Unlink Wemo. So that's how you get rid of it, and especially if you go to add other Wemo devices, that's something you're going to have to know how to do, and it will disappear here in just a second. We'll refresh. As you can see, it's gone. So now we'll actually go back here and scroll down to where you see Wemo all the way down there at the bottom. I guess, yeah, well, you could type Wemo here and that would make sense, which is why I didn't do that. So now we selected Wemo. Now it's going to say, this is the one thing I like. It actually does some things in the background. So you'll say, ready to verify. And you'll reach over here and turn on Wemo manually. And it's going to take just a few seconds. And you see the bulb. See, now it's found. It said, did you turn Wemo on? We'll go, yes, that's me. And that's the name we assigned it when we set it up in the Wemo app. So you can assign it to a room, but we're just going to assume just a single room situation. So we'll tap done. So now it brings you into the Google Assistant app. So, okay, Google, Wemo off. All right, well, we'll tap got it. And obviously it's, okay, Google, Wemo off.
Okay, turning the Wemo off.
Okay, and you see it's just got a little bit of light to it. Let me turn it up here so you can hear it a little bit better. Okay, Google, Wemo on.
You got it. Turning the Wemo on.
I see Wemo. It says Wemo. So you see the basic deal. And we'll just get it kind of out of the eyes, I will turn it back off again. Okay, Google, Wemo off. And you notice you see it down, don't see it down here. Let me check off the graph for you a second. It says answering another device. I've really got to learn that when I'm doing these videos that I actually will sit there and turn off my other Google devices, because it happened to be I was just loud enough, a device in another room picked up on it. So really, it's very straightforward. Getting it's talking in the background to the Wemo app, so really you can't get much easier than that. And the nice thing with the Wemo devices, or Wemo if you go on how Google pronounces it, that you can get to it while you're away from home. Now I did move it over. I did have to reconfigure it so that it was on my streaming network that I do these videos from, to make it a little bit easier, because if not, when you first configure the device, you're on the special Wemo network, and then you move it over, and then I found out that I hadn't put it on my production streaming network, so I moved it over. So I've had a lot of fun that you won't ever have to fool with. But really, I've talked about it before, the devices are very good at hugging the wall. If you're on a 2-outlet box, it doesn't block the outlet below it, which is a challenge with some of the other devices because of the way they've been designed. You can only use them in the topmost outlet. Now, if it's a 4-outlet network box, or not network box, a 4-outlet electrical box, yeah, you're going to have some challenges, but there's ways you can get around that. There are very short extension cables. They're like about a foot long, if that. And I've used several of those in the past when you've got some of these devices that have the wall warts to them that are going to block more than one outlet no matter what you do. So that's an option. But this is certainly something, especially for those who are renting, that you can have devices under remote control. And with the Wemo device, you can add that to a radio. So if you want to give the illusion that someone's home, or if you haven't installed a lot of smart bulbs, you can take a regular bulb, even the fluorescents shouldn't have any problem with working, and plug it in and have this turned on so that you can turn it on remotely. So if you say you've had a power outage or something is out of whack, you can at least be able to get it remotely as long as your internet connections come back up. And we'll be showing some things, and this is why I picked the Wemo device. It's one of them that's supported under multiple third-party integrations, such as IFTTT, Unomi, and I think, excuse me, I tried to mute that so it wouldn't drown you. So you can have some other options as well. So really, that's all we've got to show for this time. I do have this in what will be the second volume to the book. I'm working on that one right now. If you're listening to this on the podcast, hopefully I've given you, trying to not cough while what's going on, but if you're listening to this on the podcast, I've tried to be descriptive enough you can kind of follow what's going on, but you can get to the videos either through the website I've set up specifically for the podcast, techbiteswithronnutter.com, or you can go to the Tech Bites with Ron Nutter YouTube channel, and you can get the exact step-by-steps of what's going on, so that if you want to see the video and see how I did it, that's an option. If you need just the steps on how to do it, that's there as well. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm always happy to help. And we'll be looking at other devices in the coming weeks. I'm looking at several that control the water flow to the house. There's even some competing wearable watches that tie into Alexa, and I'm trying to reach out to those companies and see about getting those on here as well, and just kind of taking things one step at a time. So appreciate you watching this, or if you've been listening on the podcast, thank you for listening to it. Either way, if you're listening to watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, and then make sure you tap on the notifications tab so you get notified anytime new videos come out. If you're listening to this on a podcast, I'm on Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, and eventually I'll be on Apple iTunes as well. But either way, you can go to the techbiteswithronnutter.com website, and that'll help kind of simplify the process of getting notified for those as well. And I'm trying to put up about 2 to 3 a week, about the same interval as I am with the videos on YouTube. So thank you again for your time. If you have anything you'd like me to take a look at, please let me know. I'll be glad to do what I can. And we'll see you in the next video or on the next podcast. Take care now.